you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook, a bunch of lies, grievances, and name-calling.
They have, and she has, destroyed our country with policy that's insane.
Well, a consequential moment for the race for the White House. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris facing off on the debate stage. The two candidates are nearly tied in the polls. Tonight at the forefront, the economy, abortion, and immigration. Our Dana Searles joins us now. Dana, you have been following this debate and Trump and Harris's campaigns. How is this a pivotal moment in the race?
Stephanie, this was the very first time Kamala Harris and Donald Trump actually met one another, and it was a fiery debate, to say the least. Trump continued to reference and defend his record, while Harris worked to introduce her own plan, all while taking jabs at one another. So let's break it all down for you. Let's start with the economy. It's a top issue voters in this election cycle care about. Harris laid out her plan for what she is calling an opportunity economy, while Trump defended his record with the economy.
But not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounced back, and it bounced back and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President. Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy.
Next, immigration is the topic Trump has criticized Harris for arguably the most. But tonight, Harris defended her decisions at the border.
What's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country.
That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress, and said, kill the bill.
And finally, abortion, a topic Harris has a strong stance on, but Trump has gone back and forth on his own opinion. But once again, he references his record.
Each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it.
And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
Well, overall, it was a debate that will go down in the history books. And as we watch this unfold and see how it impacts this election cycle, let's bring in Iowa State political science professor Karen Kedrowski. Karen, thank you for joining us and for staying up late to break it all down with us.
Well, thank you for the invitation. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. Okay, well, let's jump right into it. Let's start with the strategy that each candidate took. What about their approaches stood out to you specifically?
Well, first of all, Kamala Harris came in and definitely had some specific points that she wanted to make. Points about abortion, about the defense of the border or immigration policy, to talk about Obamacare and health care for Americans, and the role of the United States in the world, especially unqualified support for NATO. President Trump definitely wanted to talk about immigration. That was one of his key issues. And between that and tariffs and in his criticism of the Biden administration economy and inflation, he wove those into a variety of answers, irrespective of the particular question that he was asked. So he definitely had the opportunity to reinforce those messages throughout the evening.
Definitely a lot of topics discussed tonight, like you just said. How pivotal do you see this debate being for both campaigns going forward?
I think it was very pivotal. And for one thing, it's going to be the only meeting between these two candidates face to face. There's likely to be a vice presidential debate in a few weeks, but Harris and Trump are not going to be debating again. And so it was an opportunity for Harris to be presidential and to really set her apart from President Biden. Whereas President Trump made every effort to tie Vice President Harris to the policies of the Biden administration or to attack her, as in his words, as being the worst vice president ever. Vice President Harris often referred to the Trump administration. She got in a few swipes about the number of Republicans that have endorsed her or said that they're going to be voting for her, and the quip about crowd sizes and the very unusual and kind of unexpected invitation to attend a Trump rally, right? Which definitely, I think, got under President Trump's skin. Interestingly enough, though, former President Trump never once referred to Vice President Harris by her name. So he didn't refer to her as Vice President Harris, did not refer to her by her first name. It was really only pronouns or some general statement like the worst vice president ever. And I'm not quite sure what that was about. Perhaps he didn't want to risk mispronouncing her name, but he never once said it.
All right, well, a lot to unpack. It'll be interesting to see how this all unfolds going forward in the election cycle. Karen, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your insights. Stephanie?
My pleasure. Have a great evening.